Hi everybody, and welcome to my channel, Stitching with a Dachshund. Today is May 6, 2020, and I hope everybody is doing good. It's a beautiful day here in Central Texas. You can see the sun coming through the window there. And just getting by, living on quarantine, but not doing bad. I have been cooking my little heart out. As a matter of fact, I am plumping up like a rehydrated raisin, and I ain't even stretching the truth there. I'm like, the other day, we had to run to Walmart, and we passed the women's section, and they had some shorts hanging up there, and I looked at my honey, and I said, Robert, I think I need to get some shorts this year because I've been wearing the same shorts for a few years now. I need to upgrade my wardrobe. When the fact of the matter was, I've only got 2 pairs of shorts that I can wear. Ain't even a lie. I am cooking kolaches. I'm testing out red velvet cake. I've tried out salt rising bread, which I'll talk about in a minute. And in trying these out, I got to eat them. And I do that quite well. So yeah, plumping up like a rehydrated raisin right here. So I hope the rest of you have better control than I do, because I have failed in not gaining weight at this quarantine. And I don't even care. I don't even care. So like I said, it's May 6, 2020. Welcome to my subscribers. I appreciate all 655 of you. And if you're a new person stopping by my channel, I really hope you'll spend time with me today and check out what I'm doing and maybe inspire you a little bit to get into some of the cross stitch or some of the other arts that I've been doing. This is a channel mainly about cross stitch, but I do a family update and I occasionally throw in other arts and crafts that I do. I've got a new mug, which is absolutely a doll. It is an elephant mug at the dollar store. Panda, elephant, and bear. And yep, got all of them. My daughter knows me so well. She ran down to get something the other day, and she calls me and said, Mom, they've got these mugs. I think you need them. And she told me what they were, and I said, I think you're right. I think I need them. So she bought them. They're real flimsy. I don't see them lasting very long, but until they do, I will enjoy them. So let me tell you what's happened. If you followed my channel, then you know for the last 1.5 years, 2 years, we have been in the process of building a new house. Moving my in-laws in from Arizona, selling their house, and then putting that towards building a new house. It's just been a big project. And we thought we had a sewed, but that one fell through, which held us up for several months. Well, when it went back on the market, my in-laws went down to Arizona. By the time they drove back to Texas, it had already had an offer. So that one went really quick, and they sold the house, and we were able to start moving forward on the house, which means they've dug a big hole, and now they've packed the sand into it, and every day we see a little bit of difference, and so I'm super excited. I'm going to have a large craft room, and I can't wait to show it to all of y'all. But even if we move in, which is estimated that they should have it built in 6 months, we'll see. But I still won't have a craft room, an operational craft room, because our goal is to get it built, move into it, and then move out of this one slowly into that one. Or not slowly, but we need to get this one on the market. So although I'll have it built maybe in 6 months, I probably will not be actually playing around in my craft room in my kitchen for a little bit still after that. So anyway, that is up the family update. Can't even talk. So let's get into what I've been doing other than cross stitch, because I mentioned salt rising bread. There is a archive that you can get into, and I should have wrote the name down and I did not, and you can look up old books, and I do it for cookbooks, 1880s, 1890s to 1920s to 40s even. I love looking at these old cookbooks, and I kept coming across the salt rising bread. It wasn't in all of them. It was scattered sparsely, but it was enough to pique my interest. And I had no clue what it was. So I came across a lady here from Texas. She's got a YouTube video, and it just, dang it. If I remember it, I'll link it. And she was talking about her father-in-law from Virginia teaching her to do salt rising bread. And I was like, whoa, I read that in that cookbook. So I started researching, and sure enough, it is an old recipe. It is an American recipe, which is really exciting to me. And it's not sourdough, but it is something that you have to develop the yeast to make the bread. And everybody talked about, when I started reading more about it, the stink of this bread as it, or the yeast for the bread. So I can't get this right. The yeast. The yeast for the bread is made by either doing a potato or cornmeal with a little bit of flour, water, and maybe some sugar. There's a little variance in this all over the place. But while it is doing its thing, you have to keep it at about 100 degrees temperature so it does its thing. And then the next day, you usually do it overnight. The next day, you can start making your first ferment, where you make your bread up and you set it over to the side. Where sourdough is a yeast-raised bread, this is a bacteria-rising bread. And so it's, what I understand is there's 3 forms of bacteria. One bacteria is doing its thing at the beginning, the other 2 towards the end. Saying all that, everybody warns you about how bad this bread stinks. And Lord to high heaven, it is nasty smelling. I can't even describe it. It has been described as dirty tennis shoes, vomit. One of my kids described it as, Mom, that smells like an infection. So it's not a pleasant smell. However, once you bake this bread, it is quite tasty. It is a moist, kind of a dense bread that comes off with a Parmesan cheese taste. It's not in your face, but it's a subtle little Parmesan cheese taste. And I was blown away by it. I made a batch. It stunk the house up until it was baked. My husband came home from work and he was like, "What's that smell?" And I told him, and he's like, "Oh." And he was a little hesitant of eating it, but he did. It is best slathered in butter and toasted on the oven. It is so good. Last night I made French toast out of it because I was trying to use the last of the 2 loaves up. So I've been making salt rising bread, practicing more on my kolaches, and researching red velvet cake, the history of red velvet cake before it got the food coloring in it. So prior to that. So that's why I'm plumping up like a rehydrated raisin, because I'm doing all of that and I'm eating it. So anyway, how far are we in? We are 7 minutes in and I have not even talked cross stitch. So I'm going to stop yammering now and get showing you stuff. Okay, finishes. Woolly Halloween. If you've watched my videos, you know that I fell in love with, before I get this, if you've ever, Victorian Cakes is a lovely book written by Caroline B. King. It is a story of her childhood in the 1880s, Victorian Chicago, and this whole book is about her remembrance to the cakes they cooked. So this is one thing that's gotten me a little plumper too. It's such a good read and so much fun, and if you get it, you're going to want to cook some of these cakes. So back to cross stitch. Sorry for that little interruption. Okay, so Woolly Halloween from Twin Peak Primitives, because you know I love Twin Peak Primitives. I say that every video, and I'm not ashamed of it at all. This is Woolly Halloween. Oh my God! Oh my God! I'm trying to get closer for you. I can't even tell you how much I love this. I don't know if you can tell on the witches, but they're not black. They're variegated like a dark maroon to black. The bat is the sparkly DMC, that Enthrall or whatever it's called. I chose a darker, dirtier orange. And the Halloween is a dark, deep red, and I can't remember what it is. And the scissors are variegated thread too, but I fussy cut them, I guess, so that all the handles would be kind of the brownish and all the cutting parts would be kind of the bluish silvery look. So, oh my God, I had so much fun doing this one. If you want a fun Halloween stitch, I would get this pattern from Twin Peak Primitives. You can get it as a PDF. It is easy to get, easy to stitch, and 100% enjoyable. I loved every stitch that I put in this bad boy. And don't you love the material that's on too? Love it! If you've been on my channel for a long time, then you know I say love it a lot. Okay, so that's over there. Itches, drink from elephant. My other finish is a crochet finish. This is my niece's comfort blanket. I had different plans for the gray and the blue, but once I started making it, I couldn't get those colors again because Hobby Lobby shut down, and that's where I was getting them. But anyway, oh, it still turned out lovely. Did I see a string? No. And I can now send it to her. She is my sweet, sweet niece that lives in Tennessee, right where those tornadoes hit in March, and then all of this happened, and she was having just a little bit of difficulty. So, beautiful girl, smart, intelligent girl, and I just wanted to send her something to say, I love you, thought of you in every stitch. So those are my two finishes. I'm pretty happy with them. I wish I had more to show you. I did not lose my stitching bug at all. I've wanted to stitch every day like I always do, but things have just happened. If Michael comes to visit from Houston, then I usually don't get a chance to stitch unless him and the siblings go off and do something. But if they're all at the house, Lord be, there ain't no peace or quiet anywhere in this house. So, and then we were mowing the property. We went out and checked out as the construction was starting. Things like that. Visited my in-laws, of course, and then my brother-in-law and his son Chance plays in a band called Just the Pits, but they, of course, aren't playing right now. But they invited the family out. They have a big property out in the country, and we had social distancing while listening to them play in the band, and it was so much fun. But that took up most of Saturday, so no stitching there. So I had more days this last couple of weeks not stitching than stitching, which will show in my progress. So, in the month of April, I wanted to start 3 things because I was going to focus on Maynia in May. And one of the things was, of course, Blackwork Star Wars. And I was going to do this in the Holbein stitch. And what I didn't even think about is, yeah, sure, I could do some of the patterns in Holbein because it's doing a trail and bringing it back and front looking just the same. But there's some things in here that either my skill level's not there to be able to do it, or it's just not really good for Holbein. But I have been doing it and working on it. I posted on Instagram that I was really not happy with it, but I think, you know how those days you just start off having a crappy day, and then I poked my finger with the needle. And I should not have poked my finger with a dull needle like that, but I did, which upset me, and it was while I was working on this, so I think I was just taking it out on this. I will work on this. I think I said in my thing that I'm putting it down, that it attacked me, that no, I think I will work on it some more. But this is where I got on it. It's so cute. It really is a cute piece. It's not a priority piece, but it's cute, and I will get it done. Now, another thing that I wanted to start, of course, here it is again, Twin Peak Primitives, Farm Fresh Eggs. She is a glorious hen. I love her. I adore her. Just use another word, just means love. So I did get her started. And when I got her started, I couldn't stop, resulting in I did not get the 3rd project done, but I'll show you that in a minute. So this is where I got little Missy Prissy. I used a thread that's variegated that Jen from Jen Stitch and Knitch had for her Here Chickadee pattern that she made maybe 2 years back. And that is that thread is called Rhode Island Red. She's a Rhode Island Red to me. She's glorious. And so it takes longer than what you think, because this is just all fill in, and then this is a lot of fill in. So although I was enjoying it, and I didn't want to put it up when I put it up, but I had to. I can't wait to get her back out and actually finish her up. She's, like I said, she's glorious. She's a glorious Rhode Island Red. So that means that I did not even start Silver Creek Samplers. What do they call it? It's Dorothy, I guess. And that's for a friend of mine. So that has been put on the back burner. I wouldn't say it's big enough to go in Mega Mania, but my Mega Mania is full. So, anyway. And what makes a Texas girl's heart beat so hard with true love and passion is nothing better than a pattern celebrating her state. I can't even describe it. The Lone Star State, Texas. It is not the most wonderful thing you've ever seen. Okay, for me, it is the most wonderful thing I've ever seen. I actually ordered material and the threads because I wanted that particular blue and just, you know, so I am actually waiting for this to come in. And if we all know, 1, 2, 3 Stitch is just, you know, they're working as hard as they can, but everything's a little bit slower, which is fine because I have my Maynia plans. But this is going to get started June 1st, probably. She's beautiful. Twin Peaks Primitives. I believe they designed it for a Texas retreat. One of my favorite designers in my favorite state. You can't get much better than that. Thank you, Twin Peak Primitives, for putting out such a beautiful pattern. Enticing me once again down a rabbit hole of never finishing all the things that you want to stitch. But that's okay. The joy of cross stitch. That's all I've got to say. The joy of cross stitch. Okay. I think that I've caught up on what I wanted to do in April and didn't really get done. So we're going to move into Maynia. Now, May 1st to May 7th, I have just dedicated that time to work on the Battle of Hastings, which I'll show you this picture of it. If you've watched a video previous to this, you know that I saw this. Lois had it in her shop, and I'm a big medieval, well, this is probably even before, but history buff. I love it. So when I saw this, I was like, because in my heart of hearts, I've always wanted to do the Bayeux Tapestry. Wouldn't it be fun just to restitch the Bayeux Tapestry, but make it for the people you know nowadays? Hilarious. But I saw this and thought, I've got to have that. Well, I was very new to cross stitch, and it's not an American pattern, and so it was a little confusing. So I put it down for a while, but I picked it back up, thankfully, and I now understand what they're trying to do and everything a little bit better than what I did when I first started. So I've had to work on a couple mistakes that I did make. It's all good. I'm going to get it figured out. This is where I'm at. Hand to Jesus right there. That's just, I don't know. There's no words. That is absolutely gorgeous. I love watching it come together. And I'm doing it, as I do it, I back stitch it. You know, it's because there's, like I said, the pattern's a little bit confusing for this simple-minded girl right here, but I'm digging this so much. I'm loving it. And I've only got to this Friday to work on it. Then I have to put it away to get out another Maynia piece. And that Maynia piece will be, does this surprise anybody? A Twin Peaks Primitive Twins Christmas tree. I did their Christmas lantern, and God, it's beautiful. And I've got a feeling that this is going to be just as beautiful as that when I get started. So Friday, I will be starting this. I have the material, the fabric, and everything already for it. So I'll just be starting it, and I will work a straight week on this. Because when I start something, that's the thing about Maynia done the traditional way where you start something every day. I don't, I got to have more than 10, 12, 13, 20 stitches on it. I like to get to a point where if I put it down and I pick it up, I know which way's up and down. No question about it. So I'm going to give this a good solid week. Go and look at it one more time. Y'all all should just go over to Twin Peaks Primitives and look at their patterns. I can't do that. I can't do that because I'll have a never-ending supply of Twin Peaks Primitives. I've got a lot. I've got a lot already. Okay, so my next 3 things that I set up to do for Maynia is cowboy boots, eliminated nativity, and phantom plantation. So that's my next 3 items. So I know I'm working on the Twin Peak Primitives next week. I can't start this one because now I know what fabric I want to put it on, and it is the same fabric that I used for Farm Fresh Eggs, 32 count Floba oatmeal. And it's just, I'm enjoying working on it. And I thought the original pattern was worked on an Ada oatmeal, which I couldn't stand. Once again, I was very new to stitching, and that might have something to do with it. I don't know. Did not care for it at all. Finally just tore it off and was planning on starting over, and then had several incidents. So Needleworks opens May 18th, and I'm so super stoked. I can't wait to visit Lois and what's that other girl's name? Oh, Trixie. Yeah, I gotta go see Trixie. Candace. I don't know who all will be there on May 18th. Who knows? But anyway, they open up, and then that day is I'm going to get the material for this. So I'll probably go on and start this for sure at some point in Maynia. Since I haven't moved anywhere on all three of these, I'm not even going to take our time up to show what where they're at and what I've done. So at May 15th, I know I won't be starting the boots, so I'll be working on either the Nativity or the Phantom Plantation. I don't know which. I hope to touch them all during Maynia, but if I don't, if I am feeling it, like I'm feeling the Bayou Tapestry, the Battle of Hastings right there, I'm not going to put it down and start another thing. My goal for this was to work on these big projects. And so if I'm feeling like really getting something done and it's going smooth, I'm going to work on that. Okay, where am I at? Oh my good gracious. What else have I done? I did something fun. You know, farm girl Michelle Rudy, I believe, she did a video on how to make thread drops. And so I ordered the stuff, and I started making thread drops. They're just so cute. Here's a birdie one. I'm not a big thread drop user, so I guess I will be testing that out and see if I am. I got some heart ones in here. Oh my goodness, they're so cute. I didn't have I wanted better paper, but I can't. I'm gonna get it right now. I didn't want to order anything off Etsy because I wasn't sure about it, if they would actually fit and stuff. So that's a butterfly, I believe. Butterfly. This is a pretty one. You should be able to see this one. There. And I got more that I did. So I just was like, I've got it out. I'm gluing things. I'm going to do them. Then I want to show you. I did one for each of my babies. This is, you won't be able to see this very well because they're very dark pictures. I get impatient. I should have got a better picture of all my puppies, but oh well. This is my Daisy. Oh Lord, there she is, looking at you. Isn't she a cutie? So I did one for all of the puppies. It's Baxter with his big old head. Again, looking at you. I did one with Teddy, my baby that passed away a year ago. My Teddy. Anyway, so I did one for Mo, and I did one for Victoria also. And then I just did some pretty picture ones, which I think my paper was too thin because I got this really goofed up look. It's a bird, but the red stuff is bleed through from something. So some of them aren't the prettiest thing, and I don't know if we could, the glue's pretty tough. I don't know where I'm going to go with that. So anyway, that is another thing that I've done since I last seen you. And I'm going to actually put one of these, it's a pretty butterfly, in the 800 subscriber giveaway that I talked about. I might put a couple more in there too. What am I going to do with all those that I made? Anyway, so like I said, I keep collecting things or making things or finding things that I'm putting in that box for my 800 subscriber giveaway. I'm at 655. People, there are people who just started videos just had 2,000. I don't know. So anyway, yes, I'm bribing you. I'll give you a little dinky little butterfly on a ring if you give me some subscribers. I cracked myself up. Anyway, so that's going to go into the subscribe box. I think then we can move into purchases. Like I said, I've got a couple things coming. I've been more I've been buying a lot of books, mainly cookbooks, because of the stuff that I've been looking up and researching and stuff. But I watched Bee and her husband, Tech Guy in the Hive Mind. I just actually found them recently. So I've only watched 2 of their videos because I don't go back and catch up. There's no way in heck when these people go, I watched so-and-so's channel and I started from the beginning. I'm like, people, there are so many Flosstube videos out there. You don't even need to waste your time catching up. Just go on and get to somebody else, because you are going to see so many different tastes and so much variety. But I really enjoyed their channel, so I watched their last 2. And they showed, and I don't know if I'm going to say this right, Avli, and I was an embroiderer before I was a cross stitcher. And they're actually, I believe you could, they're good at doing, you can maybe letting you have one of these on their channel, but you have to sign up for it, give them the code word that they ask for. But it's absolutely gorgeous embroidery, and I saw it, and I was like, there was 2 of them. There was another Byzantine something, Byzantine, I can't remember it was about the flowers and the leaves that went around it. It started with an A. Anyway, there's a Byzantine pattern, which I wanted also, but this one struck me the hardest first. So I purchased this, and I signed up for the opportunity to be able to bring the other one home. But I don't win very often of anything, so I just usually buy them. I can't wait. I said June 1st I was going to be doing this. I think June 1st is going to be crowded with a bunch of stuff, because I am dying to start this. And it's in this neat little cute package, and everything's in there, even the hoop. Glorious. Can't wait. So, with that, I think this has been one silly video, to tell you the truth. I hope you enjoyed it. Or maybe you're just thinking she's been quarantined too long. Or maybe the fat of all the things she's baked has soaked into her brain. I don't know what it is. The elephant. But it's something. And I'm done. So the last thing I want to say to you is, put some thread in a needle and get to stitching. Bye, guys. I'll see y'all hopefully in a couple of weeks. Y'all have a good day.